You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Trick or treat, Lone Star Radio listeners. This is Dick, the general manager, taking this quick moment to remind you that Lone Star Community Radio is looking to fill some of our talk show slots along with some of our DJ slots. We have a new show airing on the 10th, Making Connections with Stacey Harris, which will air every second Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Make sure to check it out along with our other programs on Lone Star Community Radio. For more information on Lone Star Community Radio, visit us online at irlonestar.com. And again, if you're interested in doing something with us, call the station, 936-647-3776. Thanks for checking out this recording, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Good afternoon. Hi. Welcome to the Extension Hour. I'm Amy Ressler, County Extension Agent for Family and Community Health. They actually just changed our title not long ago. It's Family and Consumer Sciences for Family and Consumer Health. Not consumer health, community health. We still do basically the same things. It's just trying to reflect a little bit more about what we do. But yes, so this is Extension Hour every Friday right here on Lone Star Radio. You will hear somebody different every week. So sometimes it's me, sometimes it's some of my coworkers. Occasionally there's the ag agent or the horticulture agent. So sometimes you hear a guy. And I know sometimes they're like, oh, I want to hear that guy that was talking about farming last week. But no,
they want to listen to Amy. That's what they want to hear.
Thanks,
the audience
Jake.
wants Amy.
That's why you're my favorite.
You're right. We love Amy.
So, and I love having guests from the community and other organizations that do such great stuff with me. So I'm really excited to have you guys here today. So before we get into announcements, let's go ahead and introduce yourselves. Who wants to go first?
My name is Rafel Henry, and I am currently the Texas Home Visiting Coordinator for the Montgomery County area. I have been which we're under umbrella of MET, which is Motivation, Education, Training. I've been with the company now for about 7 months.
Oh, so you're a long timer now.
Somewhat.
Yeah, glad you're here, Raphael.
Thank you.
Or Raphael?
Rafel.
Raphael. Just
Rafel.
Okay, Raphael. All right. Which one of you lovely ladies want to introduce yourself?
I'll go ahead and go.
next?
I'm Sherry Schweitzer. I'm with Texas Home Visiting also. I'm very blessed to be the family and community advocate for Montgomery County, and I'm out there helping our families and community with resources in Montgomery County. And I've been in this position maybe about 7-8 months. I'm really loving it, and helping the community out is huge with Texas Home Visiting.
Yeah, you guys do such good stuff. Miss Denise.
Yes, my name is Denise Wyatt. I'm also affiliated with Med Incorporate, but I am the Abriendo Puertas specialist here in Montgomery County. I service families here in the county that have children from ages 0 to 5. We actually do something a little different than Texas Home Visiting. We actually put parents in a setting where it's a group setting where they can kind of reflect and dialogue amongst each other about parenting and the skills to kind of support each other in a group setting.
Yeah, awesome. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what these programs do, because I think that you guys are a lot like we are in Extension. We have these things that we do all the time, and it makes total sense to us when we say blah, 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 blah. But if someone's listening, they may go, I don't understand what blah, 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 blah means. So we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about that and about the great things that you do. But first, we've got to make a couple of announcements, let you know some of the things that are going on with Extension. One of the things that everybody loves to come to is our Open Garden Day. So it's kind of like an open house, but it's an open garden because we've got these gorgeous gardens all around our office. We have over 350 master gardeners that work really hard to try to keep those looking good, and every one of them is a demonstration. So it's an idea. It's been tested to see kind of things that grow well here in Montgomery County. So it's a great thing to come out and look at that. And then you also have some master gardeners that you can visit with, and then we'll be out there as well. And we usually have something from the garden that you can eat. So we usually serve food to kind of promote our food nutrition and cooking classes and those kinds of things. So mark your calendars. It is Saturday, November 4th. It'll start at 9 a.m. and it'll go till 11 a.m. So it's a come and go, just at your leisure. come visit, and it is at our offices. So that's at 9020 Airport Road, so 9020 Airport Road, and that's in Conroe. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at the Extension office, 936-539-7825, or the Master Gardeners have a website and a Facebook page that you can look at. So the website is www.mcmga.com. So that's short for Montgomery County Master Gardeners.com. So, and then also we have our Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service webpage as well. And then we have Facebook pages, all that kind of good stuff. So lots of good information out there. But we would love to see as many beautiful faces as we can that day. So Saturday, November 4th, 9 to 11. See you there. So another thing that we do in Extension that people are familiar with is our 4-H program. So it's a youth development program. And it now is the time that we're starting our new 4-H year. It actually started September 1st. And we encourage people to sign up for clubs. They do have to register every year. So if someone was in 4-H last year or the year before, they have to re-register to be an active 4-H member. And that's actually been extended a little bit this year. Usually, so it's $20 in the first month or month and a half, and then $25 after that. So you can join like anytime you want to. But they're extending the discounted rate because of Hurricane Harvey. That darn Harvey caused so many issues. Because we could probably have a whole show on that. In fact, we actually did right after Hurricane Harvey hit. We talked a little bit about recovery and that kind of thing. And so you guys work a lot with parents and families, and I'm sure that you've seen a lot of the effects of what Harvey has done. But before we get into that, you guys had a couple of projects coming up that you wanted to mention?
Yes, ma'am. We actually have three events that are scheduled for the month of November. In November the 5th, November
It's
the
the
2nd.
second. We are with AgriLife.
Yeah,
Yay! Doing Fred.
Yes, Fred is Families Reading Every Day. That's one of those things. We say Fred. Everyone knows what Fred is, right? But Families Reading Every Day. It's a literacy project and a parenting project as well, trying to get families to spend more time reading, increases the literacy of the children, and also helps strengthen those family relationships. So
It does.
we love that project. So we're going to have a celebration on November 2nd.
And that's for the families that have already been in the program and completing the program.
Cool. Very good.
And our next event after that is November the 15th. We'll be with the Lone Star Community Clinic.
Actually, that's it's going to be conscious discipline. Conscious discipline is going to be on the 15th, correct? And
that is correct.
And where's that at, Rafel? You got it, Rafel.
So many things going on.
I know. It's hard to keep them all straight.
So on April the 15th, we will be partnering with the April Sounds Clubhouse. They allowed us to come onto their property to do a conscious discipline training. And we've opened it up for an hour for our families that are in our program currently to come out and learn some mommy-baby circle time. Some things that will help mother with soothing the baby, also helping the child when the child has those little fussy moments, teaching the mother how to console and to be an appropriate and productive mother with the child.
Very nice. Yeah, and so I think let's get into some more detail a little bit later about conscious discipline. That's an interesting concept and maybe one of those things that not everybody really understands. So we'll talk more about that. And then one other project at the clinic?
Is November the 21st, where we be partnering with Lone Star.
Okay, Family
Clinic.
Health Center. Yep.
Yes, and they are promoting their dental bus. And they're allowing us to be one of the first participants to come out and tour the bus, as well as not just tour. They're going to also give our families teeth cleaning, set up appointments through the Lone Star facility for other health issues as well. So we open it up to the community. Not just our family members are welcome. Anyone in the community can come out between the hours of 10 and 12 at the Lone Star Community Clinic.
And that's the one in Conroe, correct?
That's
Yeah.
November 21st, yes. 605 South North Conroe Medical Drive in Conroe.
Because you know that health center has actually expanded some now. They've got a center in Willis, and then they've got another one in
Grangerland.
Spring.
They just
And
opened
in Grangerland. Awesome.
Mhm, They sure did.
Yeah, so we're talking about the main one in Conroe, November 21st.
Correct.
All
That's
right.
correct.
So if somebody wants more information about that, how would they find that out?
They can call myself, Sherry Schweitzer, at 281-761-9039, or Mr. Rafel. They can call you at your number also.
And my contact number is 281-761-9639.
Isn't it fun remembering numbers? I have so many numbers in my head. Sometimes I'm like, wait, I'm giving you my cell phone number.
Due to technology, all you have to do now is look through your phone.
Yeah. Except occasionally I get these numbers and I'm like, I don't know who that is. So leave a message and I'll call you back.
And then you find out it's your mom, and it's like, oh yeah, right.
Oh no, that's dangerous.
Yeah. But usually I know the number that my mom's calling from.
They've had the same number since I was born, so it's like I've got it all memorized.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, when my mom calls like at strange times when I'm not expecting, I'm like, what's going on? Is everything okay?
I called my mom the other day, and she was like, "What do you need?" And I was like, "What?"
So that's we're talking about family relationships. We all love our mothers, and so Texas Home Visitors and Abriendo Puertas, which is translated as opening doors. Yep. It's all a lot about developing those parental skills, helping parents make the connection with their kids so that they can be the very best parents that they can be. And I like what the tagline is, or the kind of I forget what it's called, but for opening doors, it's. Or is it for Texas Home Visitors, helping good people be great parents?
Yeah,
That's our mission statement.
Helping good people be great
parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Everybody's good.
Everybody's good.
That's
I mean,
right.
Parents love taking care of their kids, but it can be really
Stressful.
challenging.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes we start thinking, you have kids, you know what to do, right? Right, Jake?
Yes.
You have a kid, you know what to do with it?
No, I'm still partially a kid. I'm in the transfer stage to adulthood.
Okay, well, we're going to give you some tips
Yes.
on good parenting so that you will be so prepared when that time comes.
My mom will finally be proud.
And then she won't say, "What do you want, Jake?"
Yeah.
when you call.
Exactly.
She'll say,
It's
"How's
for the baby."
Okay, so we are going to need to take a little bit of a break, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk more in detail about these wonderful programs that you guys have. In the meantime, just know that you are listening to Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, or worldwide on www.irlonestar.com. And we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Don't miss Lone Star Community Radio on TV and YouTube. Our talk show and music shows are featured on Our City TV, Suddenlink Channel 12, and have their own YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with posted shows and comment on them below the video.
And we are back on this lovely afternoon. I'm so glad that the weather has finally given us a little bit of a break and it's cooled off a little bit. You guys too? Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm Amy Ressler, County Extension Agent, Family and Community Health, and I'm here with Denise and Sherry and Rafel.
That's correct.
Yes, and we are talking about some of the great programs that you guys do. So, family and community health, we're all about helping strengthen families, and we like partnering with groups. And so we love partnering with some of the motivation, education, training, MET programs. Not too long ago, we had Eloina and Valerie from MET Head Start in Willis came to visit with us, and that was great. We've had the Fatherhood Initiative guys on with us before, so it's great to have you guys here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so we talked a little bit about your programs, but let's be a little bit more detailed. So we are representing Texas Home Visitors and Abriendo Puertas, which is also opening doors. So tell us a little bit more about those programs, what they are, who you serve.
Okay, like I mentioned a little earlier, Abriendo Puertas, opening doors, and we serve the county of Montgomery. The families that we are actually targeting are families with children from 0 to 5, and any expecting parent. Within that program, we actually facilitate a parenting training course geared more toward parent leadership. So within that training, parents receive a lot of information on how to be that leader in the family, that role, and how critical it is to that child's development. So we're not only just touching on just the child's development, we're touching on parents being an advocate to that child, being able to support that child in a school setting and beyond a school setting. Actually at home, advocating for that child before they even enter the school setting, so that they're able to notice those developmental milestones that they're supposed to be crossing, and be able to identify some of those red flags as themselves, and be able to reach out to the community organizations that are actually in charge of getting them that help that they may need.
Sure. And it's called Abriendo Puertas
Abriendo Puertas.
Because it's in Spanish.
Opening doors.
Yes, which is translated as opening doors. But the primary targeted audience for this, I mean, it's an outreach for Hispanic families.
It initially was to target Latino families, but we started to really notice that it can help all families, not to just focus on one group. So now we're opening it up to English-speaking families, and we are actually having a success.
Great.
So we actually graduated one English class for the first time this past September. Mm-hmm. And then I have just recently started 2 new English classes, and they should be graduating here soon.
Great. So that does remind me a little bit like our Fred project. We mentioned families reading every day, but it actually started out as fathers reading every day, kind of as a fathering initiative, but understanding that the whole family can benefit from it, and that fathers still play an important role, but at the same time, the entire family does. So very similar. So that's awesome. Yeah. All right. So Texas Home Visitors, how is that the same? How is it different?
We're similar in a lot of ways, but Texas Home Visiting, of course, is a nonprofit organization in Montgomery County. We serve families also from pregnant
0 to 5.
0 to 5. We're absolutely free. We have parent educators that go out into the homes twice a month for an hour, and we use parents as teachers curriculum, which is research-based, that's used to help the child's development, so that way they are ready for school. We also have group connections once or twice a month with these families. We also do festivals, absolutely free. We also give free vision and hearing screening. I'm, of course, in charge of the resources, which means if the families need any basic needs, physical or mental health or education or employment, job training, that's my job to go out and make sure that our families get that. So our programs are similar in a lot of ways, but then as far as community resources and serving a lot of the same population as far as 0 to 5 and all families and group connections also. Rafel, is there anything else maybe that I could add to that?
And just to know that, our parent educators are well trained. They go to a training that's a week long, and they are very passionate about what they do.
They are. I've met a few of them, and they definitely are.
They put their heart out on the line, and the very importance of our program is to help our parents understand that you have the support in the community. Mm-hmm. We're here to help you put that child first and let them know, education is very important, and the parent is the first teacher. And if the parent is taking that role, and when that child gets into the school setting, they're already relaxed and able to comprehend and also enjoy the experience of going to school.
And I'm glad you said that, Rafel, because that is true, because the support system that we have with Texas Home Visiting, when they make that transition to school, and research says, as parents, as teachers, that these children, the parents are going to obviously be more active in the parent volunteers.
Play a major role in
and
their
they're also going to want to go to parent-teacher conferences and also communicate with the people in the school, because they're more used to that with parents, or Texas Home Visiting, and being aware of the curriculum as parents, as teachers. It also shows that the kids don't miss school. They're willing to go to school. They want to learn. There's this drive with Texas Home Visiting and parents as teachers. So you see a lot of positives as far as Texas Home Visiting and the curriculum that we use. And by the way, we're the only early childhood home visiting program in the state of Texas that's certified.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's the incredible part of it all.
Sure. So having that support system, I think, for families, for parents, is so important, because sometimes we think that the way we were raised is like the only way that it is. And times change. Research tells us that there's better ways to do things with your children and help them develop appropriately and all that. So just having someone to talk to ask questions, because, like I said, just because you have a kid doesn't mean that you know necessarily how to parent, and that's not a bad thing at all. But
just like when you grow up too, you go to school to learn things, right? Having programs like these helps you learn and become better educated and making the right decisions for your child and for yourself.
Most definitely.
Right. Definitely.
He could be a great spokesman.
He's awesome. I love that. You're exactly right. It's that a relationship that we have with the families, and then that transfers over into the community and the schools, so they know where to go when they need help, and they know that they're able to talk, or they know they have an advocate that, because they've had that through Texas Home Visiting, and it empowers them, gives them strength to move on and be able to help their children through whatever it may be through their school.
And having that resource, like you said, well-educated people who really know what they're talking about. One of the things that I think is kind of a plague to our society now is the information we get from the internet. There's some excellent information, but there is a lot of just junk out there.
And that is true.
And things that are, whatever, posted on Facebook or any kind of social media. And and people start thinking that they should be doing this or they should be doing that. And, without having someone to talk to and to work through those things, it can be extra challenging. So being a parent is challenging enough, more challenging when you get like all of this information coming from places that may not have your best interest in mind, may not really know what they're talking about, just kind of sounded like a good idea. So let's put it out there, right?
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's not a cookie cutter sort of process, right? Every child's different and needs to be handled in a specific way. And same with the families. The families have a different process that's going to work best for them, right?
They can live in the same home, same community,
Right.
but each child has their own individual treatment plan that we provide, and we sculpture for that child based on the parent and teacher's curriculum.
The curriculum is developmentally appropriate, and then is also leveled from simple to complex, so you know exactly what's going to work for that child. And the parent educator is savvy enough to know which curriculum to use at which time, and then also because they're so intelligent with the lessons that they choose, they may tweak it a little bit and say, okay, no, let's try this, and we bounce ideas off of each other to make sure that really fits that child.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. You can have two children from the same home, the same parents, the same environment, and they can be totally different. They need such different things. So, yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Jake. All right, so how do people get involved in this? How can they take advantage of these opportunities?
As far as getting in contact with Texas Home Visiting, please contact Jessica Jaquez at 281-761-9644. She's our registrar, and she'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have about Texas Home Visiting in English and or in Spanish. And we would love to have you join Texas Home Visiting. We are growing by leaps and bounds, and we would love you to have you join our family of Texas Home Visiting.
And also for Abriendo Puertas, you can contact myself, Denise Wyatt, at 281-761-8448.
Okay, so do you have to meet certain criteria to be
Our
involved?
program is open. Well, for Texas Home Visiting, we are open to anyone that is pregnant to the child age of 5 or going to pre-K.
Okay.
And basically, it's about the same. It's not income based, anything driven like
Nothing
that.
stops you from becoming a part of Texas Home Visiting.
Right.
It's
So you
basic.
just want to be a better parent?
Yes, voluntary.
Awesome.
Right.
Lots of great opportunities. All right, so we're going to have to take another little break here, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk more. I want to know more about that conscious discipline thing. What the heck is that? All right. All right, so you're listening to Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, worldwide, irlonestar.com. I'm Amy Ressler, County Extension Agent for Family and Community Health. We've got Texas Home Visitors and Abriendo Puertas. I'm here, and I always trip over it when I say it because you're probably going, oh my gosh. It cringes every time. Can you say it, Jake?
Abriendo puertas.
Puertas.
There you go.
But we'll be right back, and we'll have a language lesson or something. All right.
There we go.
Stay tuned. See you in a bit.
This is Rick TRC. Every Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, I play today's country hits on my show. Afternoons with Lone Star. The type of music that makes you want to get off your seat, stomp your feet, sing along at the top of your lungs, and not care who hears. On Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1, and as always on worldwide, irlonestar.com.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
And we are back on this gorgeous afternoon right here in downtown Conroe. I am Amy Ressler, County Extension Agent, Family and Community Health. Got Texas Home Visitors, Abriendo
Puertas.
Opening doors.
Opening doors.
Sorry, I struggle.
It's a tongue tie.
The struggle is real. So we've been talking about helping good people be great parents and opening doors to help them be even better parents. It's great to have you guys with us today. So
Thank you.
We've been talking about the programs, what you guys do. So we're here in downtown Conroe. Tell me, do you guys have geographical restrictions? I mean, or you serve Montgomery County, or you have a larger area?
We service anyone that's in the Montgomery County area.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if they're
Montgomery,
just
Texas, we'll be there.
Okay.
Right. Montgomery, Magnolia, Caney,
Splendor,
Porter.
Okay.
As long as it's Montgomery County.
Okay, so it is primarily Montgomery County.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
good to know. Children develop differently. So in the break, we were kind of talking a little bit about how amazing it is that you can have two children who have the same parents, they grow up in the same home, they have the same type of environment, and they can be totally different kids. And then the developmental stages of children and how they grow. And so you guys do a lot with parents, trying to help them recognize what developmental stages, the milestones that they should be reaching. Again, because until you've had a kid, you don't really know.
Right.
And then sometimes when you've had a kid, like I just mentioned, they can be different, and so kids will develop at different stages as well. So tell us a little bit about how you let parents know kind of what to look for and what developmental stages there are.
Amy, our parent educators, while in the home, they are following the curriculum of parent as teachers. And as with the parent as teachers curriculum, there are certain milestones that the child should be hitting at that age group. And if the child isn't, we, of course, depending on the age, if they're 0 to 3, we will refer them to early childhood intervention program here in Montgomery County, which is around the world. There is an early childhood intervention program, but we use the ECI here. And we make a referral to that family, to their program, and their program then come out and do a visit with the family and assess the need.
Correct. Either physical and or speech
therapy.
Depending on going through, the parents as teachers curriculum, whether it's language based or maybe cognitive or finer motor. We look at every single developmental level and aspect through the curriculum, and it's all level from simple to complex. So we know, like Rafel had said, once they hit those milestones, we keep on moving forward. But if we do see something that needs to have, we need to have an intervention or referral done, we definitely are very proactive and work with the families. And the parent educators are very savvy at working with them and
educating them as well.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
All right, so with Texas Home Visitors, you've got the parent educator going into the home and observing them, but with
Abriendo Puertas, it's a little different.
She's just going to say it for me.
It's okay.
Way to go, Denise.
With Abriendo Puertas, since we're in a setting as a group, parents are actually able to feed off of each other. They're able to dialogue and kind of reflect on some things that they're experiencing with their children. And it empowers parents to know that they also are experts in parenting.
Sure.
Not to make parents feel like they have to be down on themselves because they may not be doing what the next mom is doing, but that there's always still room to grow. And on terms of milestones, within the session, we break the 4 areas of developmental growth for the children down. So the 4 areas of developmental domains, we break those down for them for each session.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually able to focus for 2 hours on that area. And within that area, we have activities and games that the parents get to play with each other, and we break those areas down into groups by ages.
Okay.
So parents are actually able to kind of give their own ideas on what they think an activity would be appropriate for that age. And then we break down, okay, well, these are some things that you should be seeing around this age range. And these are some things that could be a concern. And then we let parents kind of voice what they think also. So it's not just the parents listening to me teach them something they may not have known, but for them to actually feed off and dialogue off each other, and just me being there as a guide and support to them.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's helpful for people to know they're not alone.
They're not alone. Exactly.
Yeah. When we're having a hard time, we sometimes feel like we're the only ones who are having that. So learning from others and kind of how they've dealt with those, and then just even not necessarily problematic things, but just kind of getting new ideas from others.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I never thought of that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's awesome. All right. So Texas Home Visitors and Opening Doors. You guys are similar. So kind of what would be some of those things that you see most often when we talk about developmental, like developmental delays? Is there something that you see more often than others?
I would say speech.
Oh yeah,
speech is a big concern for parents, and I think is one of the ones that parents have the most concern with.
Sure.
Because especially when a child becomes of the age of 2 and they're still only saying maybe 15 words, and then mom is like, well, he understands everything I'm saying, but he just can't say it. And I think it confuses a lot of parents once they get an evaluation from ECI that they tell them, well, he doesn't qualify. And the parent is like, well, he still doesn't talk. And I think it's a lot of confusion for parents too, because language is not only what is spoken, it's what can be, understood and interpreted. So if that child is still somewhat understanding what is all spoken, sometimes they fall within that gap where it's like he may need a little more time or she may need a little more time. So I think that confuses parents a little bit, and that's why I think it's a big topic for parents. Like, it's confusing to them about what's really expected for them as far as language development.
I agree with you as far as the developmental of speech, to know at which age level that they need to have so many words and be able to say a complete sentence and be able to read a book. Just the flow of language development in itself. Yeah, and having that dialogue is great with Abriendo Puertas with the parents, so that way they know exactly the development of the child. I know, too, because of Texas Home Visiting, we're very blessed to be able to do free and vision hearing screening, and I know lately we've had, because we're so blessed to be able to do that, and then do the referrals to see that, now this 2-year-old or 3-year-old needs glasses, whereas before, that huge time span would have gone by and they would have gone to school and not gotten that, right, and not been able to see, and that also helps with other developmental levels too. So we're seeing vision, speech also, autism. We've seen that also, and then we have, of course, me with resources, being able to give them connections with either like physicians of some sort and or some autistic websites that they could go to help them out, and parenting groups that they can get help from. So we really go in, the parent educators go in and help those families based upon the child's needs. And then what you were talking about before, the games and activities, I know we use, parents as teachers curriculum, but we, the parents or the parent educators go out there with a lot of activities, a lot of games. And we have a toy lending van that also...
Yeah. That's
cool.
Blue van.
Yeah, the big van with all the toys that we're able to give toys to the parents and leave them in their homes, and the activities. So that way it's not the one-time hour deal where they're doing a fine motor skill or even a language development skill. They're going to leave that toy or they're going to leave that activity in the home. So the parent can continue that, and then
the next visit or the next time we pull out the van, they can meet us at the location where the van will be and exchange their gift at any time.
Right. And so parents as teachers is the name of the curriculum. But so when we're talking about children who have any kind of whatever developmental issues or developmental delays, empowering that parent to be the teacher to help them through that can make such a big difference because it's a
big difference.
It's a great way to intervene, and the parent obviously is there, with the child on a regular basis, whereas
we're there 2 times out of the month.
You may go see the doctor just once a month.
Or
Not even that often.
Yeah, it depends.
You don't see others very often, but helping parents feel like they can,
empowering them.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's great. Okay, so what else do you think would be a developmental thing? What would you give a tip for a parent? If so say I'm a parent of a young child. What kinds of things would you tell me to kind of look for?
As far as fine motor, if they can't physically grasp things or write with color, gross motor, if they're having mobility issues as far as even walking, maybe even by looking at an infant, if the infant is not crawling at a certain time, if they're not walking at a certain time,
not even making noise or mumbling type of words is a thing to be aware of as well.
And when you say a certain time, that's not necessarily like a day, like when they're...
No,
it's a range.
It's just a range.
It's within a range.
Yeah, it's within a range, and if the child hadn't hit that within the range, of course, we're not going to immediately tell you, oh, stop what you're doing and go get immediate help, because each child, again, is developing differently. So with the parents, teachers, they're trained to be able to say, well, Mom, we'll do an assessment, and within that assessment, they have a 3-month period to go back and reassess, and if that issue is still there, then we refer out, because now we're seeing that this is an issue that is out of our hands.
Right. So awareness is a big thing, right? Just kind of knowing where those ranges would be, and but then keeping an eye on it and addressing it as it comes up, so that it doesn't become like a huge crisis.
Correct. We're being preventative and proactive at an early age, and that's why the program's so great. We start even with pregnancy, helping them with, going to the doctor and what do you need to do even before the child is born to make sure the child's healthy, the mother's healthy, she has any questions, needs any help with any, physicians and or
finding connections to the community resources that will help them.
Correct, for sure.
All right, so we got to take another break, but we still have not talked about conscious discipline, and I want to leave our listeners with some good parenting tips. So we'll be back in just a few minutes, but you're listening to Lone Star Community Radio 104.5, 106.1. I'm Amy Ressler, Family and Community Health. We'll be right back.
This is Rick, TRC. Every Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, I play today's country hits on my show. Afternoons with Lone Star. The type of music that makes you want to get off your seat, stomp your feet, sing along at the top of your lungs, and not care who hears. On Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1, and as always on worldwide, irlonestar.com.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Okay, we're back one more time. Jake just gave me a great compliment. He said I did a good outro. I can't even
It was
talk.
wonderful.
Thank you.
It was your best one
All right.
I think we've ever done together.
And so here's, can I do a good intro?
Yeah, let's see it.
Welcome back to Lone Star Community Radio. This is Amy Ressler, County Extension Agent, Family and Community. I was doing good.
You were on a roll. I was getting ready to cheer.
All right.
It's okay, Amy. You did good.
Hey, thank you. And it's been great having you guys here. We've been talking about some wonderful things about parenting, about Texas home visitors, and about
Opening doors, you can say. I'll make it easy on you.
And the great things that you do to help great people be, good people be great parents, and great people be even greater parents.
That's an awesome slogan.
It is.
Help good people be good, great parents. I like that.
Because there's, always room to improve. Yeah. And so one of the things that is to tell a personal...
Whoa. I'm perfect. All right. I'm perfect. Let's make that clear.
Okay. Well, so I was just about to confess one of my shortcomings because I want to be perfect, but I struggle with trying to be perfect and realize that I can't be perfect. And sometimes it messes with my head. Can't be perfect.
Mind games, plays with you.
But you're all okay being perfect because
because there's no pressure.
It
is what it is.
He just goes with the cuff. Whatever goes.
So somebody's mama did a really good job.
I think so. That's incredible. She gave you a great mindset.
No comment. No comment.
No pressure on any other mom.
True.
Okay. So do you guys think that Jake's mom did conscious discipline?
I don't know what that is. So.
I don't think so because I don't think I don't know how old you are, but I don't. It's not possible because it's kind of a new concept. It's a new program. I would say it's probably 10 years old would be my guess. It's about 10 years old somewhere.
Jake's a little older than 10.
Yeah, I was going to.
I'm 13.
I was gonna say,
so.
Okay, and you're perfect too.
No, I'm 24. So got me beat a little bit there.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think it's that old, but it's a newer program.
So conscious discipline came from some research and kind of best practices and trying to figure out what we're doing well with kids, what works well with kids. So tell us a little bit about some of the concepts that are with that.
What it does is it helps to soothe the child. The child needs to think about their emotions and how to control their emotions and how to soothe them and how to use breathing techniques. And talking through, if they're angry or frustrated, and counting back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or breathing, almost like yoga.
Oh, yeah.
And it helps the kids to, be aware of their emotions and have control of their own emotions. And at a younger age, it's very difficult for them to even understand different types of emotions, and that's one thing.
It's all new to them.
That's one thing that Texas Home Visiting, in the curriculum, we spend a lot of time teaching the kids about their emotions. But then, on the other hand, conscious discipline is of course, a program to where it helps the children with their social skills, so that way that the parent doesn't have to yell or scream at them, but have the child be aware of their own behavior and emotions, and help them use techniques to soothe them.
And I'm sure there's a lot of developmental strategy in that as well. What you can expect from a 6-month-old compared to a 12-month-old compared to a 2-year-old. They all have different things that they can respond to and understand. Yep. So what are some of the, what's your favorite part of conscious discipline?
I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but my supervisor shared with us that she utilizes conscious discipline with her child, and she mentioned to us one time that her daughter was upset, and she was wondering if this program was really working for her, and she went into the bedroom and saw that her daughter was talking to her baby doll, telling her, "I see that you're sad. Why are you sad?" And she was like, it wasn't to then that to her the light lit on for her that she's actually grasping the information that she's sharing with her when she's telling her, why are you upset? Tell mommy why you're upset. So she was able to respond appropriately with her toy. And that's what we're going to have on the 15th of November for our parents. They're going to be able to come out with an actual trained person that's going to do a mommy me circle time, to where the child can actually play with a little baby doll and be able to regulate those emotions that they're having when they're upset.
Sure. And I think that's great to teach children to recognize their emotions, because those of us who think they're perfect, or those of us who want to be perfect.
What do you mean think? No, but going back and relating back to this, I don't know if they obviously didn't call it back then, but going through elementary school, my parents went through a divorce, and I had anger issues as a young child, and they had me sit down and do the counting back from 10 thing, and they tried to beat it into me consciously. When you get upset, when you get angry, stop, take a deep breath, and not literally, but they tried to make me retain it, and I think it helped. So I can't, I'm perfect now, so it must have helped, right?
So do you still count back?
No, I can hold it back now, so I don't have to count backwards now. I can restrain myself without having to. Now if I'm in a car in traffic, forget it. That's a different story.
But don't go to Houston traffic.
I drive through it every day to Katy.
Oh, good luck.
So I have a 2-year-old granddaughter, and her parents have been I don't think that they're necessarily doing conscious discipline specifically, but they've taught her when she gets upset, they say deep breath. Her name is Rory. I call her Ro. She's so nice. We could just talk about that for a little bit, but I'll control myself. Anyway, no, they just say when she gets upset, Rory, take a deep breath, and she'll go. And then she's fine.
And it's a different emotion.
It is, yeah. Right. So, I mean, and I just, like I said, I think that that's awesome because, even as adults, if we haven't been taught to recognize our emotions and deal with them, then how can we help a little person do that too? So,
and that's another developmental with brain. When you teach a child something at a younger age, they never lose it. They just utilize it when it's appropriate.
Sounds good. So, Denise, you actually used to be a parent educator before you. What was your favorite thing about doing that?
Actually, it was interacting with the parents themselves and just seeing parents able to utilize the things that we would discuss during the sessions and actually take some of the activities and take it upon themselves to add new things to it. And when I would come for the following visit, I would have parents showing me like a catalog of things that they did with the kid, and they would take pictures. It's like their way of showing me, hey, I really did do the activity. So I really thought that was amazing that parents would take the initiative to actually do the activities with the children. And it wasn't just the time that I was spent there at the house.
Yeah. Sure. So if there is one thing that you just wish that parents knew, something that you could share with parents in terms of parenting, what would it be?
For me, that you are your child's first cheerleader. You're the one that's going to be on the sideline when everything else seems to be going wrong. That parent needs to know that someone has took that initiative time with me to prepare me and to instill in me that it is important that I stand up for my child.
What about you, Sherry?
I think it's important for people as families focus on your family's strengths.
Because we can't all be perfect.
Well, focus on the strengths and the people that you rely on in your community, and obviously your parent educators, and building upon that to help them know that they are, of course, their first child's teacher, and you have other people within your community to strengthen you to help your family grow.
Sure. What about you, Denise?
One of the things I think for parents is the biggest thing is patience. That parents, you have to have patience when dealing with a child, especially having multiple children. I myself have multiple children. I have children that are very close in age. So I know that that's one of the biggest things a parent has to have is patience for that child, because also, like we just discussed earlier, that every child is different. No matter how you parent them the same, you have the same concepts, the same rules, and you'll have a child that, regardless of how they know the rules or not, they're going to still kind of do what they want to do, or however the drum beats for them. So just being very patient with them and just kind of find ways to help and support them in being different and unique.
Okay, so we've got we could probably talk for another couple of hours, I'm sure. But so anybody that's listening that wants to learn more about Texas Home Visitors or Opening Doors, tell us again, how do you get in contact?
Our registrar at Texas Home Visiting is Jessica Jaquez. Her number is 281-761-9644. Please call. She can speak in Spanish or English, of course. Puede hablar en inglés o español, right? And any questions that you may have, she will answer your questions. And please call, because we are a growing group of families.
All right, so say that number one more time.
Jessica Jaquez. Her number is 281-761-9644.
And that's for either program?
That is for Texas Home Visiting.
Oh, okay. So,
and for Opening Doors, Abriendo Puertas, you can contact me at 281-761-8448. Again, that's 281-761-8448. And we also will be located at the Spanish Heritage Festival here in Conroe on the Montgomery County Fairgrounds this Sunday from 11 to 1. So any parent interested, they can also visit our booth there.
Yeah, you guys are out and about, community events. Yeah. I've seen you at several
always.
things.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we were doing that last night. So yes.
And well, you guys, and we're friends. We do similar things too, and we love working together with you guys. So we can also give you some information about how to get in contact with Texas Home Visitors and opening doors, and then you guys can send them our way too, because we do some great stuff as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. So I'm Amy Ressler, County Extension Agent, Family and Community Health. You can reach us at 936-539-7825 or Montgomery-TX.org, I think, or on Facebook.
Sounds right.
Healthy Living in Montgomery County, all of those good things. We're findable.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Jake's just saying, okay, wrap it up. I got to do my job. Thanks for being our friend today, Jake. And thank you.
Thanks for having us
Denise
in.
and Sherry and Rafel for being here.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.